Welcome to the Casual Cry Club, your cozy corner on the internet. We are your background besties. I'm Sunny.
And I'm Sherry, and we yap about unimportant things and we give you unserious advice. Hi, Sunny.
Hi, Sherry. So today, let me start this podcast because I'm very excited to share with you.
Why are you excited?
I've officially put down an offer for a house.
Wow,
So I'm going
congrats!
to become a homeowner soon and I'll be in debt, like what you said.
Yeah, adulting milestone. So
Yay!
exciting. Okay, tell me more later about like all the
Yes.
personal details, the
We
private details.
we can talk about this later, but this gives a very good setup for the episode that we have today, which
Mm-hmm.
is living with our family.
Yay, being like 20 plus, 30 years old and living with family.
Yes, to clarify, I'm way past 20 plus. So
That's why I say 20 plus, 30 plus. Yeah.
thank you for thinking about my age.
Okay, Sunny, how is your family situation like?
Okay, so I think I'm a bit extreme case lah. So at my peak, right, I think there were like 12 people living in my house. And just to clarify, every time when somebody hears this, they will ask me, "Oh, you live in a landed property, ah?" But then I just want to clarify that I do not. I do not live in a landed property. I think my house is like about 1,500 square feet.
That's quite big actually.
It's not small for sure. It's the size of those very old five-room flat lor.
But still, 12 people is, yeah, 12 people is quite a lot still.
And then when I was young, I think at the peak, people who were staying with me were like my grandparents, of course, my parents, my sibling, um, and then I have like three aunts living with me. And then at that time, I think some of my cousins will also move to live in with my family as well.
Wow. Is your family very bonded? That's why you guys are staying together.
I would say rather than bonded, it's more like unmarried.
Oh, I see. Forced to be bonded.
Yes, because back in the days, right, it's very weird to move out of your family home when you're not married.
Yeah.
Actually, it's still like that now, right?
Yes.
Which is why we are all still with our parents.
Yes.
So a lot of my aunts didn't get married, which is that's why they are all staying with me. I remember when I was growing up, one of my sleeping area will be under the table
Like in a room or like outside?
in the room. So same room we had 3 to 4 people living here.
Really?
Yeah, 12 people how to squeeze in a normal apartment. We only got 4 rooms, right? So we just divide, like, just do your math. So we had a double decker bed, and then so 2 people can stay on a double decker bed, and then there's a space in front of the cupboard, right? Which another person can sleep on a tilam.
Yeah.
So there's me, a small child. So my space is under the desk where people work and do their makeup on.
Oh, so
So they just put a
sad.
tilam under the bed, and then that's my bed.
You were small enough to fit under the table.
Before 8 years old maybe. When my cousin got married, and then my cousin moved out of my house, and then I got
Uh-huh.
upgraded into the tilam.
Oh, I see. I was like, okay, do you like inherit the bunk bed? But no, you
Yeah, and then
inherited
after
the
that
tilam.
another of my cousin moved out, and then I inherited the bed.
Yay, progression. And now
Yay!
you have your
So
own
now I sleep on the
house.
bed.
Wow, from under the table to mattress to bed, and now you have your own house. Yay!
Yay! Thank you. I think I came a full
Yeah.
circle. How about you? How's your situation like?
Okay, so I live in a very typical HDB flat also. It's a four-room HDB flat, so three bedrooms, right? And I live with my parents and two brothers, one older, one younger brother. If you think about it, right, five people for three rooms is manageable, but it's gonna be a little bit tight. So I grew up having to share rooms with my older brother. And then when we were kids, it was still okay, right? But it got to
Mm.
a point where we were both grown and we needed our own space. And like, I mean, it's just a bit weird if like our sister and a brother like sleep in the same room. At a certain point, we were split up. I can't remember. It's very blurry to me. I can't really remember. I think we split up and then my younger brother was born. So let me fast forward time to right now. Three rooms, right? One room is the master bedroom, which is where my parents sleep. One room is my older brother's like man cave kind of room. The third room is my younger brother's man cave kind of room. So I sleep and do work in either one of those rooms. Like I would like pick which space is available in which room and I would just do my work there. And then at night I will sleep in my older brother's man cave. And then my two brothers will sleep together in the same room.
Aiyo,
There's a lot of shuffling about the
so
rooms.
complex.
Exactly. So, yeah, that's how I have been living my life for the past maybe 5, 10 years.
Either way, no matter how big or small the family is, the conclusion is that we do not have our own space despite being good old
Yes,
adults.
exactly.
We don't have any autonomy, man.
Yes, I know. I think because our parents are from like the older generation. So I think to them, a house is just like a home is like, where you can sleep, where you can eat, where you do work, and like that's it for them.
Yes, this is called traditional Asian
Yes,
households.
correct.
But anyway, today we are going to talk about what we are not going to miss when we eventually get our own house.
Yes. And the list is a long list. Okay, Sunny, why don't you start?
So I think the biggest thing I will not miss is toilet queue.
Yeah.
Queuing for a toilet in my own house. Because like there's so many people in my house, right? So queuing for toilet is really a nightmare. Sometimes I can wait 2 hours just to go toilet.
Oh, wait, how many toilets do you have in your house?
We have two toilets. We have two proper toilets in the house and one in the kitchen, which is super small and only got a toilet bowl.
Oh.
So the 8 people in my family has decided to split into which toilets we prefer to use, and then all our like barangs are in one toilet,
Mm.
which is a pros and cons because it also means that when you want to use the toilet and the other one is free, you cannot just switch over
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah. Because you'll have all your stuff there, your cleaning supplies,
Yes,
and oh yeah, your
correct.
bathing stuff.
So once like I'm desperate, I will just knock on the door and say, please, 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 can you just open the door and give me some things? I will move my toothbrush out or whatever. So sometimes like my mother or my father will have to come out half
Oh my
naked to pass me things
God.
or like switch toilet for me if I'm super late for work.
Oh my God, I feel that also. Now both me and my brother, we go to office, right? So he goes back to work like Monday to Friday. Whereas for me, like on 2 days of the week, I'll overlap with him when we go to the office. And we both wake up at around the same time and we prepare at around the same time to go to the office. And sometimes I'll like, sometimes when I wake up, my alarm rings and then I wanna laze in bed for a little bit and then I think like, oh shit, later my brother like wake up and then he will like go into the bathroom and I can't use the bathroom anymore. So I force myself to get up and go and shower first.
Yeah, must choke
Yes, must
first.
show it first. If not, you have to wait like 15, 20 minutes to use the bathroom and then by then it'll be quite late already.
Like a chess game, you have to really understand everyone's schedule, like Big Bang Theory. Do you watch
No,
Big
I
Bang Theory?
don't.
It's okay. So anyway, in the show, the one of the character had to memorize the other character's pee schedules. So sometimes I feel like I'm Leonard from Big Bang Theory. I have to know everyone's pee and shower schedule. And poop schedule also very important.
Why isn't it so difficult in the morning where like usually that's when people poop, right? And like do their morning business.
So many years, we have sort of like learned how to manage each other's schedule and,
Oh,
and stagger our waking time. But it's sometimes like what you said, lor, if you screw up one day, then the
yeah.
whole the whole schedule is messed up.
Very well coordinated poop schedule in your house.
Okay, okay, what else?
So other than the toilet bathroom situation, let's talk about our actual like living habits, like working, sleeping, things like that.
Mm,
So I think this
mm,
this this might be quite unique to me, or maybe you have experienced it also. So I sleep alone in a room by myself, right? But that's not my room because my older brother has stuff in that room. My dad
mm.
hangs his like clothes in that room also. So every morning, every single morning, my dad will have to enter the room to like take his clothes for the day. And he wakes up super early. He wakes up at like 7:30 a.m. He'll come into the room, and I'm a light sleeper. So whenever he comes into the room, I will just wake up and I can't fall back to sleep again. That's the main reason why my body clock is so short. Like I will usually just wake up at 7 a.m. even if my dad doesn't come in, even if there is no distractions or like no sound to wake me up, I will still automatically wake up at 7. Yeah, and I rarely sleep
Mm.
in because I will be woken up by someone, either my brother coming in to take his stuff or my dad coming in to take his stuff.
Ay, so poor thing. I mean, I guess this is like living in somebody else's time zone where your whole time zone is just not yours anymore.
Yes.
Yeah. So for me, right, I think somewhat similar because I share a room with my aunt. My aunt's pretty old, okay? She's like 73
Oh
already.
wow.
So she has this whole old people time zone where they sleep generally little
Yes.
and then they can't fall asleep at night. Wake up very early in the morning and then randomly sleep during the day. You get what I mean? So so basically, right, especially recently after the rise of TikTok, YouTube, and all these things that they can watch on their phone, I think my life has become like really horrible in that sense because she loves to watch all these things on her phone very loudly, and then she don't want to use earphones
Uh,
because I don't know lah, maybe it's just not something they had growing up, right? So for her, it's probably a very weird concept to put something into your ear, and then they think like it's not bad, and they think it's bad for your ears, bad for your hearing, so they don't. So they just use their phone and then they on very loud because maybe they old and they cannot hear, right? So she ons her phone at like a super loud volume and then she will just watch her TikTok late into the night. And then sometimes when she sleeps, she'll wake up at say like what 5 a.m.
oh my
She'll start watching her
gosh.
TikTok on her bed.
At 5 a.m.
Yes, old people time ah. So she'll watch until maybe she feel tired at like 6:30 and then she will sleep again. So after she picked up this weird habit, I realized that I get woken up by her every single night.
Mm.
I would say for more than 1 year now, I've been sleeping with earplugs.
Oh.
Yeah, because I realized I cannot change her. I need to change myself. So I started to sleep with earplugs. So I cannot hear her 5 a.m. TikTok anymore.
Oh, and that has helped.
Yes, I went to buy those expensive ones. I started off with the free ones you get from airlines and
Yeah.
all that. It didn't work. So I went to buy like a proper silicone earplug that you can plug really deep into your ears.
Oh my God. So
Yeah, no
what if next
choice.
time there's an emergency when you are sleeping and then they try to call you but you cannot wake up because you have earplugs in?
No lah, I can hear. I mean, if it's really loud, I still can hear. So sometimes when I try to fall asleep at night, and she's watching her TikTok or her Chinese dramas, the sometimes it's very intense, right? Like some war or police thing. I really can hear, and it's very loud.
I wonder what's on your auntie's TikTok FYP.
You want to know this old people FYP? I tell you, I have the most information about it because I have a data set of many old people living with me. So apart from my parents, I also know what my aunties watch. I'm very aware of what's trending in the world of this 60, 70-year-old in Singapore. So for example, uh, China short dramas are very popular currently. You know those like with the super cheesy content one, and then it'll be very fake, and then
Yes,
it'll be the same drama but somehow adapted into the different era, and then
yes.
they'll be acted by like just some nobody strangers. Yeah. Oh, everything is super dramatic and really cliche, but they just watch it anyway. And as you watch,
Mm.
at some point it will just stop because they want you to pay. And then my father got so annoyed. I remember once he was like telling me, "Hey, I want to continue watching How ah?
Can you help
How
me
ah?"
download this app?
Yeah. And then right, he paid for it, you know.
He what? He paid for the app
Yeah,
to
he
watch the
paid.
shows.
Yes,
Wow.
he told me he paid like $3, but then after he paid once, then he was like saying, "This is not worth it at all." And he stopped paying. Yeah. And then he also has some like weird habits. So I also don't know what he's watching. He loves to watch those propaganda films about Japanese invading China.
Oh my
And
gosh.
then like Japanese
Where that's
versus China spy. And my hypothesis is because he doesn't need to think when he watch those things, and then he can fall asleep. And then after he falls asleep, he wake up, right? He can understand the story perfectly well. So don't need to like return back to previous. Like he don't need to rewind. He can completely understand after a 5 minutes nap. So
Maybe he has watched the same thing like 10 times.
probably like it's super cliche. He doesn't watch the same film, but they all look the same. Yeah, and then he also loves watching like 歌台, and then loves watching those live streamers like Wang Lei. Apart from Wang Lei, right? So one of the weirdest things that they really love to watch is that they love watching spirit mediums on YouTube.
Wait, what is that content?
So you know what's a spirit medium?
They get possessed, right? Oh, okay, okay, okay. Yeah.
So this is one of their top
What the
content.
heck?
They love to watch people getting possessed. Are you surprised that there's YouTube content about it?
Yeah, like I don't know, like they don't film it specific. They don't film those mediums specifically, right? Those experiences, do they?
Yeah, so now the mediums make their own content. Well, later I send you. It's very interesting one.
Please
So
don't
like
send me. I don't want to watch.
all these temples have their own channels, and then they will market their top mediums. And then you'll see like all the gods coming, the gods solving problems and all that. So my
Oh my
parents will love
gosh.
watching it.
Wow, very advanced eh.
Yeah, man. So I'm totally very aware of all these things also because I am forced to watch whatever they watch because they own the TV. So now that there's
Mm.
the YouTube is connected to the TV is forever playing their content. So I do not have TV rights in my house. I only watch things on my phone and my laptop. Unfortunately, every breakfast, every meal, whatever, whenever they're home, I'm forced to know what they are watching. Yeah.
You watch the same things as them.
Correct. The feng shui master come talk about next year lah, the spirit medium
Yeah.
things like that.
No wonder, and no wonder you know so much about all these things. Now it all makes sense.
Yes, yes, because exactly. That's why I picked up a lot of old people habits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so going back to my original auntie storyline, let me continue. Yeah. Yeah, and then like sometimes right, I remember I told my auntie about her. I tried to talk to her about these problems also, okay.
Mm.
But then old people are really very inconsiderate. You know what she told
What?
me? She told me, right, you want to sleep, right? It's your own business. It's not my business to
What?
talk to me about it.
Have you ever like tried to take revenge like when she's sleeping then you watch her video super loudly and wake her up?
God, she cannot
Oh
hear.
my god.
She cannot hear my videos. She sleeps like a log. Like if she falls asleep, right, she will just. I think that's why she has no awareness that other people can hear because
Yeah.
she cannot hear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
very hard to get through to her lah. Okay, so yeah.
Old people privilege. So we literally had to take like a 20 minutes break because my mother walked into the room that I'm sitting in right now to record this podcast. Yes. So this is 20 minutes later. But speaking of people coming into the room when I'm doing something or when I'm using the room, there's been a few times, okay, like in the past,
Mm.
I went through this journaling phase where I would like write down reflections of the week and then plan out what I want to do for the next week, right? And usually these kind of activities, you need a very quiet, private space to do it, to really like let your emotions flow, and for the vibes to feel right. But usually that does not happen in my home. So I will find like usually all the rooms are occupied. If it's not occupied, then it's either like someone will walk into the room or there will be some sort of like disturbances. I will manage to find a room to do my quiet journaling in and I'll close the door. But then for some reason, 5, 10 minutes later, someone will open the door and like look in to see like, hey, why is the door closed? What's happening? Then like the vibe of journaling is gone. Yeah, so throughout my throughout my phase of journaling, it didn't last very long lah, to be honest. But there were very few times where I really could sit down quietly to like write down my reflections and stuff. Yeah, I wish I could journal more, but maybe that's a thing for when I actually move out and have my own space.
Yes. So sad. For us, for
Ah.
you.
Okay, I think that's it for part one of this episode. We will continue our next episode to share more stories about living with family and more of our adventures of living at home.
Okay, thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.